Hi friends, this is RAJASEKHAR Reddy. Friends, in previous video we have seen the constructor injection. We have seen the spring constructor injection. We have seen, let's recap this. We have on person.java, it's a bean class. Bean class which having three instance variables. Again we have one constructor using fields which taking three parameters under display. The display method we use it for displaying just whether the dependency is successful or not. So that's why for testing purpose we written this display method. Okay. After that, I have written one more class for app.java, which is to create the container object and to call that person object display method in the person. In Spring Bean configuration file, only one bin is configured in this Spring Bean configuration. Let's see that also in .xml. See, only one bin is there. We configured that bin in this by using the constructor arg tag. In order to make the constructor injection, we will use this constructor arg tag. In order to perform the dependency injection, we will use this one. Okay. Now in this particular video, where one bin is referring to another bin, where one bin is dependent on another bin. We will see that example now. Then I am trying to create one more project. Right click, it's taking time. New project, my one project. Click on next. Click on next. After that, select in the catalog, select internal and click start 1.1. After that, click on next. Articraft ID. Here we need to give the project name. I am giving my project name as bean refer bean, where one bean is referring to another bean. Oh, my project name is bean refer bean. After that, click on finish. In the status bar, you can see the project structure is trying to create the project structure. It's taking a little bit time to create the project structure. Meanwhile, we go to Google and search for Spring Context Maven. We need to add this dependency in order to work with that Bean Spring Core module. Just I am selecting here 5.0.2 version of Spring. Copy this dependency. Go to Eclipse. Open pom.xml file. Go to your pom.xml tab in Spring Bean configuration pom.xml file. Copy this dependency here. Control R, Control Shift F to format the text. After that, save it. Whenever we save it, automatically it will download the required jar files from the internet. Okay, you can see all the jar files are downloaded. Okay. Now go to src main, create one class, bean class, new class. Here I am creating the bean class with person. I am creating person. Okay. Click on finish. I am taking two instance variables, integer, private integer, some PID, some person ID, private string name, private string name, and two properties. Two properties here I am taking. After that, I am trying to create one more class, new class, address class I am creating here. Address is my another bean class. After that, click on finish. In the address class, I want to only two properties. You can write any properties, but here I am taking only two properties, private string, some street, one more instance variable, private string state. Okay. After that, source, generate getters and setters, select all. Okay. After that, here I am trying to write one parameterized constructor to inject the values. Okay. I am writing toString also to display the values. Source, generate toString. Okay. Now we are ready with the address class, address bean class. Okay. After that, this person classes, I want to make dependency. Uh, person class should be dependent on address class. So that's why I am writing here one more instance variable, private address. You can give any reference variable, address. After that, go to source, generate getters and cancel. Source, generate getters and setters, select all. Okay. After that, here I want to write one parameterized constructor using fields. Okay. I will write one toString method to display the values. Okay, now we are ready with the bean also. So here in the person class, we have three instance variables, and the person bean is dependent on address bean. Now we will create one select src. We will create Spring Bean configuration file. We will configure this beans in the that Spring Bean configuration file. Select the package, right click, new, other, Spring Bean configuration file. Click on next. I am giving the file name as spring.xml. Spring.xml file. I want to configure that bean, the two beans here, bean, bean having some id or name you can give. Id I am giving as person. After that, class, person. After that, person. Inside it having some parameters. Go to property. Inside bean property. Control space. I want to configure this PID. Value. I'm providing person ID as 1. You can close here itself. After that, property, one more property, name, value. Can give any name. Giving Raja. I'm closing here itself. We have one more property, address. Here we need to take not value. If we want to configure that string and wrapper classes, then we will use that value attribute. Otherwise, we need to go for the reference attribute. Reference equal to, we need to provide that value now. Then what I will do is, I will first of all I will configure that address bin. I will configure. Void error. No constructor with 0 arguments defined in class. Okay, we have to provide one 0 parameterized constructor in the string person bin. So that is the error. Okay, go to source, person constructor. I created one 0 parameterized constructor, or nothing I written. After that, now the error has gone. We need to configure that one more spring bean bean is there, no address bean. We need to configure that bean here. Here I am creating bean having some ID. I am giving some ID. Name, class, address. Here address. That address bean having two properties. Property tag, name, first street, value. I am giving some. You can give anything. One more property name, control space, state, value, giving some AP I am giving. Okay. Control or Control Shift F to format the text. Save it. Again we got one more error. Place the mouse cursor here. Multiple annotations found at the line. No constructor with 0 arguments. On the class address class. Here we need to create a 0 parameterized constructor in the address bin also. That is the error. Address. Okay. I created one 0 parameterized constructor in address class. Now here in the reference of the person address, the person bin is dependent on that address bin. No, here we need to give in the property of the person bin. Here we need to give the reference, give the ID, addr. Okay, save it. Now no errors are there. Go to app.java. First of all, we need to create the container object. Container object we can create by using new class path XML application context, which is taking one Spring Bean configuration file, which is taking in the form of string. Here we need to give that spring.xml, spring.xml. After that, control1. It will store in the class path application concept, which we don't require. So that's why I'm reference variable as application context is an interface. Application context equal to new application. We created the container object. Why error? Place the cursor there. We need to import org.springframework.context. Okay. We created the container object. Application context dot getBean. GetBean of I am creating person dot class. Whenever we call getBean method of person dot class, it will create the return type is person. Just we can simply print this out. You can give that person class object reference object. Whenever we call like that, internally it will call to toString and it will display the values. We want to close that container object now. Then application context. The close method is not available in the application context interface, but it is available in the child class. So that's why we need to take the abstract. The class name is abstract. Application context is the class name where the close method is available here. In this class, the close method is available. So that's why I'm typecasting it to dot close. Okay, now no warnings, no errors. Now I am trying to run the program. Run Java application. Okay. See, we can see a person, some person ID 1, Raja, address equal to AP, it is displaying the values. Go to spring.xml file. Here what I want to do is I want to remove this ref, and I will do one way. Why? Because go to ref tag is there. It has some properties, control space. We can, the ref is also a tag. It has two properties, two attributes, bean and parent. I'm taking bean. When we enter control space, it will automatically showing the all the IDs and the beans. I am selecting here address. In this way also we can configure that one bean referring to other bean. Go to app.java. Now run. Now also we are getting the same output. We will do one thing. We will change the scope. I am trying to change the scope here. Scope equal to, by default it will be singleton. I am changing it to prototype. Both are singleton. Do one thing. First I will write one sysout in the person.java. In the zero parameterized constructor, I will write one sysout to check whether the really person object is created or not. Person object is created. Save. Go to address bin also. In the zero parameterized constructor, write one sysout saying that address object is created. Address object is created. Address object is created. Okay. Go to spring.xml file. Both having the scope as singleton. First run and check it out. Run. See, person object is created, address object is created, and they initialize the values. How the container is going to do is, first, when the container object is created, it will come to Spring Bean configuration file. It will check how many beans are configured. Then it will check the beans in the sequence order, whatever how many number of beans having the scope as singleton. First of all, it will create the object in the sequence order. First, it will check the scope for the person bean. If the if the scope is singleton, then it first of all it will create the object, person object. Then it will go to address object. Then it will check the scope. It is also singleton now, so that's the address object also it will create. Then it will go to inside it have properties. No, it will check how many properties it have, and it will initialize that one. Here when we come to here third property as address, no, it will check whether address object is available or not available. Then it will use it if the scope is singleton. Now I want to change the scope to prototype. I am giving the scope for only this person bin as scope prototype. Then we will check. Go to person. We will run. Now first address object is created. After that person object is created. Then the values are provided here. First of what I will do is I will go to person. In app.java, I will not call, I will comment these two lines. Now save. I am not calling the getBean method. I am only creating the container object and I am creating the I am closing the container object in the app.java. Now run and check. Address object, only address object is created, person object not created. Why person object is not created means the scope of the person bean is prototype. Prototype means whenever we call that getBean method of that bean, then only it will create the object, otherwise it will not create. Why address object is created means the scope is here singleton now, so that's why it is created the object of the address class. Now what I will do is now I will uncomment this two lines, save it. Now run. See, address object is created, person object is created. Why? The address object class scope is singleton now, so that first it created the object. Person object, why it is created second means the scope is prototype now. Whenever we call that getBean only, then it will create, otherwise it will not create the object. Okay, now we will go to one more scenario. What I will do is I will remove the scope from here and I want to write scope for address class. Scope equal to prototype. Okay, now I will run the program. Go to app.java, run. First person object is created, then address object is created. We initialize they initialize the values. Okay, go to spring.xml file. Here the scope of the address class is prototype now. Who called? We not created the object to the address class. Then who created means why? Go to spring.xml file. First the container will check the scope for the person. It is singleton, it created the object. After that coming to address class, it will check the scope for prototype. Scope as prototype now, then it will not create the address object. Then it will initialize, it is trying to initialize the properties. It is trying to store the these values in the person object. In meanwhile, it encountered address bin. Then it will check the reference bin address. Is not there now. Then it will create the address object. Then it will store the these values in the address object. Then it will supply to the person object. Why? Because the person bin is dependent on the address bin. Then it will initialize. Now what I will do is I will write both are prototype, both scopes as prototype. Scope prototype. Then we will check it. Go to app.java. Here I am creating only object to person class, person bin. Just now run. Here person object is created, address object is also created. I will comment these two lines. Okay, now I am trying to run the program. Now no output. I'm trying to uncomment this line. After that, save it. Now run. Person object is created. Address object also created. The scopes are both as prototype we have written now. Then we need to uncomment these two lines and check it out. What will be the output? Save it. The output is it container will not create object to two bins. It will not create object to person bin, and it will not create object to address bin. Now run the app and check it out. Okay, program terminated. See, it also closed that class path XML container object also closed. Why no objects created to? Why means prototype. No, whenever we call that get bin method of that bin only, then it will create the object. Otherwise, it will not create. If the scope is prototype, scope is singleton container. When container object is created, then only then itself it creates all the bins which have in the scope as singleton. But here the scopes as prototype, then it will not created the object. These are all the required scenarios when one bin is dependent on another bin. We will use this in in Spring Bean configuration file. We will use this ref tag or ref attribute. We will use which where one bin is dependent on another bin. Then we will go with this ref tag or ref attribute. This is friends about where one bin is dependent on another bin. We will work in this Spring. Thank you friends. Thank you for watching.